Welcome to the Damascus Encounter, your program on television where we share experiences of individuals who have encountered Jesus and their lives took a dramatic turn for it. Jesus himself said, "I have come to set the father against the children and the children, as it were, against parents." Sometimes we wonder exactly, is it children warring against parents or having some kind of dramatic experiences? But the truth is, when Jesus steps in, we take decisions for him and it makes us turn sometimes against the norms that we already know. And that is an experience we'll be listening to from my guest on the program today, who will be sharing with us how Jesus turned the course of her life around regarding worship when she encountered Jesus. Welcome to the program, Godiya Ishaku.
Thank you, sir.
It's nice to have you on Damascus Encounter. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself, growing up, your faith, and how you knew God?
Yes, sir. I was born in a village called Mayoraneo from Adokola local government, Taraba State. I went to primary school, government primary school there. From there, I obtained my secondary school result in Government Day Secondary School, Mayoraneo.
So, growing up as a child, you were born into a Christian family, and so which church did you go to?
Yes, I was born in one church called United Methodist Church in Nigeria.
Okay.
So, but later on, my father converted to Deeper Life Church, where he died there. But when my father died, I still converted to that church, United Methodist Church in Nigeria, because I was following my mom there. When my father converted to Deeper Life Church, my mother wasn't following to that church.
Okay.
My mother used to go United
Methodist
Church in Nigeria, while my father was going to Deeper Life Church.
But the rest of you, the children, you went with your mom to United Methodist Church?
We are going with our father.
Oh, okay, you went with
It
your
was
father.
later when he died. My mother now took us to United Methodist Church in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, you grew up all this while and then you went for your national diploma in which particular school, and what course did you study?
I studied diploma in law in Adamawa State College for Legal Study.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, how would let's talk about how you encountered the Seventh-day Adventist Church and your experience. So, how did you come about the Seventh-day Adventist Church, even though you grew up in the United Methodist Church of Nigeria?
Okay, in 2017, I was at home. That day I was sick, I was lying down. So one of my sister's friends came to our house. She was telling us that some set of group of people came to our village. They brought one church called Sabbath. And I told her that she was lying. Let me go and witness it.
Okay, so did she describe what this Sabbath church, what it meant, or what it was all about?
No, she didn't describe anything. She only told us that they brought church called Sabbath, new church,
okay.
Yes, in our village.
Okay.
And I told her that I have to go and witness it.
Okay.
So, despite that I was sick, and I told my mom, let me go and witness it. So I now went there. So they were doing that program in one primary school, government primary school. So I now went there and I heard the sermon. So the sermon was preaching by one pastor, Ishaku from Jos. So that time he was running his masters here. So he now asked to went for evangelism to our village. So when I reached there, he now asked us that, did we promise to come with our Bible the following day? And I said yes. So the following day, and I reached there on time. I went with my Bible and my jotter. I was jotting some verses. He was preaching, I was jotting. So till the particular day that he was about to preach the sermon on topic Sabbath. So he now asked us that we should go and be searching our Bible. Anyway, we found that God said that we should be going to church on Sunday. He promised us 1 million naira. So from that day, we started studying our Bible, searching. So that day, it was like my eyes was open. So I now say, there's no particular place in the Bible that stated that. So the following day...
So let me just cut in there. How long for how many days did you try to search before you were able to say, wow, there is no Bible verse that says we must go to church on Sunday?
Ever before, when I was in my former church, I was in a group called Morning Star.
Okay.
And that group, we used to memorize verses.
Okay.
We even used to do cassette at that time.
Where you memorize Bible verses? And
yes, we are memorizing
them.
Bible verses. So that time I was having Bible verses in my memory.
Okay.
So, yes, sir.
So you just went through your mind and you said, come to think of it, I can't remember any Bible verse that says that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you got excited.
Yes, I was excited. So that day it was like my eyes was open. So the following day that he preached about Sabbath, and I said, wow, it was very interesting. And I decided to convert to Adventist. So they now made an altar called the people that decided to be baptized.
Okay.
And I said that I wanted to baptize. So the following Sabbath, we now went to the river. We were baptized that day.
So you got baptized and following all the excitement. So when you took the news home to your mother, I'm now baptized, I want to join this church, what was her reaction?
So my mother her reaction was so strange to me.
Okay, tell us about it.
Yes, she was now asking me that, why will I convert into that church? And I said, yes, I have read it in the Bible. They stated in the Bible, so I have took my decision to convert to that church. She said no. So thank God my mommy didn't go to school before. So she said, okay, since she didn't go to school, she didn't know anything about Bible, so let her leave me. So later, my sister now joined me. So she was baptized later.
But your sister, did she also attend those meetings?
No, it was that particular day that they preached about Sabbath and my sister.
That she came?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then she also got baptized?
It was later that she got baptized.
Okay, not the same day that you got baptized?
Yes.
All right. So she got baptized and then two of you, out of how many siblings do you have?
I have 4 siblings. I'm the firstborn. We are 5.
So 2 of you became Seventh-day Adventists?
Yes, sir.
And your mother?
And the remaining ones are going to our former church.
And your mother felt, okay, since that's what you have read in the Bible, it's up to you, and so on. So did it bring any form of challenges? You used to help her go to farm, you used to help her go to the market to do some selling. How did this affect things?
Yes, sir. Normally that Sabbath day is a market day in our village. So ever before, I used to go and be helping my mom selling things in the market because she's a businesswoman. So since that day, I now took a decision that I'm not going to market again on Sabbath. And I told her that from today henceforth, I'm not going to market on Saturday. So if there is any other work, I can help you. But going to market on Saturday from today, I'm not going again. My mother was like, so am I serious that I will not follow her to market? I say yes. Even if you reach to the extent that you not give me food, I will not follow you, but I can help you in some other work. But I'm not going to market on Saturday again. So me and my sister, we didn't find it easy that time. My friends, the people that I had used to work together, they abandoned me, they rejected me. So it was only that my sister that now became my friend that time.
And all of this because you became Seventh-day Adventist?
Yes, sir.
So, with your mother at the end of the day, did you go to that point where she said, okay, since you will not go with me to the market and you will not, then you cannot benefit from the sales of what we make from going to market on Saturdays. How did you go through that experience?
No, she didn't say that, because on Sundays, me and my sister, we used to go to farm and help her. While on Saturdays, we are not going to market again since from that day.
Okay, so she gave you had the option of going to work on Sunday,
yes,
as
sir,
against going on Saturdays.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, when you went to school to study law, did you go to church also on Sabbath, or you still just kept to yourself?
I was graduated before that evangelism.
You had graduated before
I graduated 2016, while they went for evangelism 2017.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about how your friends reacted to your becoming Seventh-day Adventist. People called you names, and they felt you were, how can you at this stage of your life? So share a little bit on what they told you and how they tried to make you feel bad over the decision that you took.
Yes, sometimes even if I took my Bible, I was going to like midweek prayers. So people used to challenge me that, this is a prodigal son, that I'm a prodigal son. I wouldn't bother, I would just mind my business. So one day my friends gathered, they now came to my house, they now met me. They were asking me that, is it true that I converted to another church called Sabbath? I say, no, it's not Sabbath, it's Seventh-day Adventist church. So they now say, okay, all the experience that our teachers teach us that time that we were in Sunday, that I told you that attending one group called Monista.
Okay.
So was he lying? I said, no, he was not lying. And I remind them that will you remember the particular verse that we treated that time about love? We explain about love in Exodus chapter 20 from verse 1 to 17 about 10 commandments. So, and thank God that time I asked my teacher about that Sabbath. I said, this Sabbath that we are talking about, what does that mean? He now told me that it's the law of Jews, that I should forget about it that time.
Okay, yeah.
So it was that time that I converted, and I recall that I was asking them that, could you remember that time that I asked that question? They said, no, it doesn't mean. I said, okay, if you decided not to work with me because I converted to another church, there's no problem. But as for me, I'm not going back again.
So, but all this while, so you said all of these, and people, your friends decided, well, you're on your own. You've chosen
Yes.
what you want to do. Did you feel lonely? Did you feel like maybe they are right, or you were just so convinced that this is the truth?
I have convinced that this is the truth, because I didn't even bother about loneliness, because I'm with my sister. So anywhere that I'm going, I'm with my sister. So I didn't feel anything, because I have really convinced that this is the truth.
And that gave you plenty of joy.
Yes, because there is a particular verse in the Bible that stated that Jesus said that people will hate you, people will reject you because for my name's sake. So I now recall that when I was in that faith, people didn't even bother about me. But this time that I converted people, that means that this place is a real place.
It's the right place to be.
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back and talk some more after a very short break, and you share with us the experiences of what you went through some more after this time out. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Damascus Encounter. We still have with us in the house Godiya Ishaku, sharing her experiences of having becoming a Seventh-day Adventist, her experiences and how her friends were laughing at her and how she chose to move on. So, Godiya, looking back today, How exactly did you even come about? The man who brought this idea of a new church, a new faith, do you want to tell us about him?
Yes, there was a man in our village called Simon Zachariah. So,
Okay.
and that man occupation is fishery. So
Okay.
he went
He
to
was
our,
a fisherman.
yes, he was a fisherman. So the man was listening to AWR every day. He started observing Sabbath from that time.
For how long did he listen to Adventist World Radio?
Yes, based on what he told us, he said he spent like 10 years
He was
observing.
listening to
Yes.
AWR for 10 years.
Yes, and he was observing Sabbath since that 10 years, him alone. So he decided now to call AWR to bring an evangelism in our village, whether he will see some members to be worshiping together.
Okay, so he made the call, and then his call was heeded, and Adventist World Radio, the conference brought an evangelistic program to your village.
Yes, sir.
And then that was the evangelism that you went for, and then you heard about Sabbath and
yes.
the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and then you converted.
Yes.
So, since you became Seventh-day Adventist, how many of you, at the end of the day, got baptized into the church after that evangelistic effort?
After that evangelism, we were baptized about 70 people.
70?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Those are the baptized members, but there are those that receive it through faith.
Okay, so some also by confession of faith?
Yes.
And then some by baptism?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today, and so the church started, and you have how many, do you have did you get a pastor to pastor the church?
Yes, we have a pastor. That time they sent pastor for us from our conference, Northeast Nigerian Conference.
Okay.
Called Pastor Dauda Jonathan. He's now a student pastor here in Babcock. So that time we were going to church. We started with those 70 people.
70 baptized
and
members.
most of us are youth.
Okay.
So, and those youth are not responsible.
When you say responsible, meaning that they are still, their parents still take care of them. They are not taking care of, they are not working.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So when they started facing challenges from their parents said that they should go back. If not, they will stop helping them. All of them now stop going to the church. So right now we are about 20 in the church.
About 20 people left in the church.
Yes, sir.
Who are still faithful and who come to church regularly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me about how you eventually had to leave from Taraba State coming down to Babcock.
After the evangelism, a set of people went to our village again from Babcock here.
Okay.
So my uncle Ishaku Zachariah is among them. They went for an interview. Okay. So my pastor now told Ishaku Zachariah that please, when he gets to Babcock, he should find something doing to me. Now explain to Ishaku Zachariah about me and my sister, how we converted. Okay. So when Zachariah reached here, he now found something doing to me. He now called me from Taraba State.
That is, he was supposed to get back to Babcock, and when you get back, help find if there's something she can do.
Yes,
that
sir.
you can come down to Babcock. And so he got back, and then he called you.
Yes, sir.
So what did he tell you?
He called my pastor that he had found something,
Okay.
that my pastor should call me.
A kind of job that you could take up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you now travel down to Babcock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what do you do in Babcock exactly now?
Yes, I'm working with security department right now in Babcock.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what does, so the security work, does it allow you to still follow up on your faith as a Seventh-day Adventist?
Yes, sometimes, because my supervisor is not an Adventist. So the time that before I'm working here around BBS, so that time they used to give me my off on Saturdays. Okay. So when they now redeploy me to another zone, I now beg my supervisor that please I'm a new convert into this church. Please, he should be giving me my off on Saturdays for me to be going to church. He now say yes. He started giving me off on Saturdays. Later on, he now changed. So now sometimes I'm not going to church on Saturdays. I used to do morning duty on Saturday.
Okay, but since you got baptized and you heard about Adventist World Radio, you used to listen to Adventist World Radio programs?
It was later when I came here, when I reached here, I used to listen to our Hope channel in my phone.
You listen to Hope FM?
Yes,
you mean,
sir.
on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, and on Hope FM, the Adventist World Radio programs run there?
Yes.
So you listen to Adventist World Radio programs?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about your dream for the future. Now you're a Seventh-day Adventist, and what are your plans for the future? What do you intend doing now that you are here in Babcock?
Yes, I was planning to further my education. So my plan was, since the school fees here is cost, so maybe I will look for another.
You mean the school fees is on the high side?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will look for other universities so that I can engage myself. I will be working and I will be studying.
Going to school at the same time.
Yes,
but you
sir.
still do want to study law? Or yeah.
I wanted to study law before, but I recited my paper last year. When I recited my paper, they now changed that literature to geography. So, and I find it difficult for me to rewrite the paper again. Based on financial, I didn't have enough to still write it. So now I will change the course.
Okay. So, okay, then let's look at your moving on and the work that you are doing right now. Do you, thinking back, every time you look back and you remember the story and how far God has brought you, are you looking forward to the time when, do you have that zeal to see your mother, your other siblings get converted? Are you making any effort in that direction?
Yes, sir. I'm still praying for them. When it is time, God will change them. But now when I reach here, I'll be helping my mommy, so she's now happy. Even this year, New Year, early January, she celebrated her New Year in Jos with my pastor, my Seventh-day Adventist pastor day. So, and my pastor too is encouraging my mom.
Okay.
So, I'm praying with a time.
That someday, somehow she will get baptized.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, if we put together your journey and walk in the Adventist faith so far, what would you consider the biggest challenge that you've had so far? Has there been any challenge since you became Seventh-day Adventist that you've had to deal with?
No, there's no challenge, sir. The only challenge is that's education that I want to move on.
Okay, your desire to go to school.
Yes, sir. And when I converted in my village, people are mocking me that, since in our area there's not something like Adventist, and we will still go back and marry Sundays. So I now told them that, God forbid, I will not marry Sunday by His grace.
Okay, so they were saying, I'm just trying to get it right, that you have become Seventh-day Adventist, and someday when you are getting married, you will find your way back to Sunday worship in church.
Yes,
okay.
Again. Yes, sir. So, but now I'm praying that by His grace, I will not go back. I'm not going back. I will marry in Seventh-day Adventist church by God's grace.
Okay. So, let's talk about in the Seventh-day Adventist church, since you became an Adventist. What are some of the things you find very, very interesting as a Seventh-day Adventist that you enjoy, that gives you joy, being a Seventh-day Adventist?
Yes, I like youth programs.
Okay.
Yes, but I didn't have time. The time that I didn't have, based on the nature of my work.
Okay.
So I didn't engage myself in that programs, but I enjoy it. I like it.
You would have loved to be engaged in the Adventist youth movement. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what exactly excites you about the AYM?
About the AYM?
Yeah.
Before I reached here, I attended youth camp.
Okay.
That was 2018. I attended youth camp in Gombe State.
Okay.
So I enjoyed the way they are teaching youths, Bibles, history. I like it. Adventist belief. I like all those things.
Okay, so let's talk about Adventist beliefs. Some of the Adventist beliefs that, apart from going to church on Sabbath, which of the Adventist beliefs do you also like, the teaching that gives you plenty of joy?
We have prophecy, spirit of prophecy teaching.
Spirit of prophecy teaching.
We have the great controversy. I like all those teachings.
Okay.
Yes,
have you
sir.
read any of Ellen White books?
Yes, I read Messages to Young People.
Messages to Young People, okay. And you like it very well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's interesting. So someday I sincerely hope and pray that your dream of going to school will be fulfilled. And I just want you to know that it's an interesting and exciting thing to become a Seventh-day Adventist, and definitely God who brought you this far will not leave you alone. I also want to believe that someday you will live to tell the story of how your mother and your siblings also would find their way into the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So it's been interesting having you on the program. It's a nice time sharing with you, Godiya, on the Damascus encounter for today. Hoping that someday soon we'll get to talk with you again.
Thank you, sir.
That will be all on today's edition of the program Damascus Encounter. Is it possible that you also are hearing from Jesus? Is it possible you are learning something new? Or perhaps the story of Godiya today has dropped a seed on your mind and you think you would want to consider those texts in the Bible. Find out if you can find any specific place in the Bible that says you should worship on Sunday as against worshiping on Saturday. It just might open your eyes, and someday we just might be sharing your story on the Damascus Encounter. Until the same time, when we bring you another edition of the program, I want to thank you for being a part of the show today, and God bless.